Alright, welcome back to Dankscore Traders Hub. Yes, it's a BTC analysis session that we've started. So without any further ado, we're going straight into it. Don't forget to subscribe if it is your first time here, and of course don't forget to hit that bell button to activate all notifications so that you don't miss any of these analysis sessions. We always have weekly and daily, of course, for the other sessions. So without any further ado, let's get into it and look at what is happening in BTC. All right, so BTC, we last saw it on Tuesday, so let's go to Tuesday. So Tuesday we were anticipating a pullback up there to at least try to take those highs out and then come in with sells again, because we already knew that the trend is a downtrend. So we never saw that happen. In fact, let me see, let's see here. Did we make any entries? Yeah, I made an entry there for that pullback, and then it took me out, and immediately the sell began after there. So right now this is not necessary and that, so let's take it off. Let's delete that, and now let's go to H1. So before we go to H1, this is where we got a change of character according to H4. Right there we have a change of character, pullback there, then sells, but there is something holding these sells to continue. That kind of an order block. It is now considered to be a support level according to H4. So if that's the case, then we already know that it's gonna take a pullback for this market to break this support. So this kind of a pullback is what we are still considering, this kind of a pullback to get up there. I would love to check according to trend line patterns or chart patterns. Let's look at that. What we are getting there, it seems to be a flag. Seems to be a flag right about there, and clearly that seems to be a flag, and that can eventually, that eventually of course tells us it's gonna come up there to go for that move. So now that we know we have a flag according to H4, then we can go to, before we go to that, let's go to daily time frame. Right, we have that according to daily. We have a weak high there, so price can eventually break and continue with an uptrend. So according to H4, we should be looking for sales, but the structure says different. The structure, price action, and chart pattern, this flag here says different. So we have to consider this. All right, so looking at H1, right, all right, so I believe we are looking for buys. Let me go and confirm on M15. Yes, M15 says buys, so we should be looking for buys, but there's that level which is quite hard for these, for the breakout. It's a resistance area according to a lower time frame, so price is being held up right there. In fact, if you go to M30, it's another chart pattern that we can consider. It's another chart pattern. In fact, go to M15. Let's use M15. Let's try to work it out like that and see what's happening. All right, so that is it right there. So that is what I can consider, meaning we are continuing. Of course, this move right here is coming through. This move right there is coming through later. It may be in the next H4 or this H4, so we have to wait a little bit. I think in the next H4 we should be getting in with buys. So for now we hold our positions. We hold not to enter now and wait for a clear entry. So for now I see buys according to H1, according to M15, and of course even according to H4. The next H4 should be getting us back into buy trend. All right, that's it. That's it. I believe there's nothing much more we can talk about apart from probably going back to higher time frame and looking at the overall structure and looking at what we anticipate in probably 1 or 2 weeks or even a month. So this is the structure here. We want price to get back there, then we come in with sales. Once we do that, according to daily, we will have another change of character right on that level. This is where we will be considering a change of character according to daily time frame. And once we have this confirmed change of character, which will be our reversal signal to push for downtrend, then we will know that we've started sales. And this will be like a pullback according to weekly time frame, meaning price can eventually even go all the way down below to these levels. We have several levels, fair value gap that was left here. That is very crucial, a weekly one. It is very important to consider and know that before the year ends, we may see price come back all the way to 90, 80k actually. Price can easily go back to 80k. You need to understand that this fair value gap that price or market left back here, it is still very important that price can always come back to it to grab that liquidity. So in as much as we want price to continue, BTC to continue giving us higher highs, look at that level there, right there. You can see the rejection coming in from sellers. 1, 2 times, now we are seeing the third time. So it is quite important to understand that and know that once sellers give us once they give us a reversal signal on a daily time frame right here, we may start a downtrend which can easily lead us all the way back to 80k. So remember that, consider that as you are trading BTC. Trade probably as an intraday trader and looking for short entries and positions until price goes back here. And once it goes back there and fails to break that previous high, then you will be knowing that sellers are coming in strong to push for this kind of a move. All right, I believe that's it. Hope you guys had a great time. So I want to remind you 1 or 2 things about this channel. Every week we always have analysis that we do. We have other assets, we call them synthetic indices, and we have already analyzed them early morning today at 10:30 a.m. East African time. We had a session. If you missed it, you can always go back to the channel and look for episode 230, episode number 230, I believe, or 231, I don't remember, but I think it is around there. You will see it. Like a few hours ago, we closed that stream, that session. It is there live, you can still go back to it. So we analyze assets like Crash 500, of which we already have an entry there. We are in profits. Those who were online, you remember I gave you that signal, so we are in for that Crash 500 sell. And Boom 1000, we analyzed Boom 1000, we analyzed Boom 500. Boom 500, we had entered sales here, so it has taken me out. I don't know, it has again the second time has taken me out on the same level and then coming back into sales. So I'm not going to enter it again. I'm out of Boom 500 for now. I will not enter it until it reaches here, and then I look for the buys. V25 1S, yep, V25 1S, we've also analyzed it, but it has broken out there, so it means we are not going to be trading it for now until further notice. So for now, no business. V75, all right, the buy has started. I believe we can enter. Here. Yeah, so we are going to enter this asset. Because that it has followed the analysis just like we wanted. So now we have to make buy entries. This was jump 50. We already hit our target, and now it's coming in for the sell. You can see the sell has started. That means this trend line shifts and goes up there. Yeah, that's what happens. That trend line has to shift and it goes all the way up there for that. So that means we are in a downtrend for now until it comes around here, and then we come in with buys. It's gonna come around here, then we come in with buys. Hopefully it can react to this fair value gap, and then we get that entry. So congrats to those that entered this asset, the buy there, like I showed you on the analysis. Then jump 25, we have jump 10, all these other assets, we are still waiting on them to make an entry. Then gold is still tricky. Yeah, it's still tricky, but we should be looking, it's still very strong on buys, but we are likely to see, I told you, we are likely to see this consolidation, and then we come in strongly with some sells to give us a pullback according to H4 and daily time frame. So until then, we have no business with it. It has given us a change of character, but anything can happen. This can become a fake change of character, so you have to be very, very careful when you're trading BTC, gold. Otherwise, let's wind up with BTC and we call it a day. So I told you, according to BTC, we have that structure and we already know these patterns. So it means we are going to be waiting for price to probably come back down to this trend line, and then we can come in with our buys to push us all the way back to that trend line. And of course, it can even directly go and break out and continue with that kind of a buy to bring us where? To bring us back to those highs. And probably from that time, from that level, we can come in with sales if price fails to break that resistance above there, or that previous higher high, to give us a new all-time high. All right, so be rest assured that there's buys today. Buys are coming in, so don't look for any sells unless if you're a scalper and you're looking for some sells here down here to push to come to this other trend line, then you can enter that. But if you're an intraday trader, you can patiently wait for the buys from this very level right here. I think that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time with me, and hopefully you can make money even on BTC as well as money on the other assets like we already seen early morning. Have a good day and have a lovely weekend. See you guys on Monday. Of course, as always, for synthetic indices and gold, That will be at 10:30 East African time, 10:30 a.m. East African time on Monday. See you guys. Bye bye.